somebody drove in a nail when the tree was smaller and the tree kind of grows around it. You'd think it would just stay with the bark, but it doesn't. Like, it grows around it, and actually it's inside the tree. Like, almost every pine tree you cut down, buy a spare chain, because it's like, if it's in somebody's front yard, chances are there's been birdhouses nailed to it, all kinds of stuff, right? And they're always all full of nails all the time. And yeah, it's like, it's bizarre, but yeah, it's an observation. You know, I've screwed a few chains that way. You know, I was always able to resharpen them enough, but you know, it's just it's par for the course. And when that happens, it's kind of like you know, you just put that saw aside, you grab the other one, you finish the job, and then you either swap chains, sharpen up, or whatever. Like, sometimes you have to stop and sharpen the chain. I get that. You have to stop and put whipper line on. You know, that just is what it is, right? But I'm talking stuff that's going to take you time, like sharpening a chain. A touch-up doesn't take long, but you know, like a good sharpen, that takes long. You know what I mean? So you're better off to either have a spare chain that you can just swap out, or a secondary saw that you can just grab. You know what I mean? That tends to work really, really, really well. For me, it works well. So that's just my take on doing things. So looks like I'm going to be at work a little bit early, so that's good. So that means I'm going to start a little bit early, so I'm going to start for 9:30. I thought it'd be 10, but I mean, I was just in and out. I didn't bring my pop cans up there today just because I just don't have time for that, so which is too bad. So I had to unload the pop cans this morning before I left. But anyway, it was what it was. But I got my whippersnipper back. It's finally taken care of. Nice to check something off the list for once. The saws, well, the saws are the saws. So we'll see what happens there. But if I could sell that one, the Echo, and the two stills, that'll buy the one 162. You know, because I'd like to have two good saws, right? Two small good saws. So I'll have Mini Beast the 180, which they're discontinued, and it's the 181. Same saw, just you know, slightly more advanced, no more carburation. It's all M-tronic now. And I know a lot of people, oh, I don't like that because I can't work on it. Well, yeah, but you don't have to adjust anything. You know, the only thing about the M-tronic that I heard is that, especially when it's cold or whatever, or if you change altitudes, you got to let the saw idle for about 5 minutes to climatize to it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. So I'm sure it's fine. I mean, Husky and Still, which are all owned by Poonlane, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. Like, Husky and Still are like the go-to saws. Like, these guys, they do probably the most in research and development. You know what I mean? So if you have a Husky or a Still, you're you know, whatever technology they throw on there. Like, I mean, they've had the fuel injecting M-tronic stuff for a good while now. Oops, lost my clock. And you know, they wouldn't, you know, like I know there's like sometimes like, okay, there's a couple of problems, but you know, we're going to manufacture it anyway. It's not like a car or something like that. Maybe I have to get over a little bit here. Where, you know, you got tens of thousands, you know, you got like 39,000 parts or something like that in the average vehicle, right? Maybe more. And because it's, you know, not as complex, I'm sure they're able to put more research and development on the fueling system. And the fueling system is everything for a chainsaw, right? So the good news about that is that if you get your chainsaw, you know, really refined, I mean, you know, it runs fantastic and it runs the way you want. However, with the M-tronic, you can't modify it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't modify it. So the guys that like to mod everything, yeah, I can see how they don't like it. But I also see how, okay, for the guy that just you know, I'm not I'm not messing around. I'm just working. That guy, he just wants to pick it up, pull the darn thing, and go, right, and do that all day. I didn't have money. I had money. I didn't know where I put my money. I had money. Gotta find my money. Did I put it in the wrong bag? I didn't do that, did I? Money. Hello. Where's my money? In my pocket? It's in my pocket. My pocket stole my money. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go get my provisions and I'm gonna get to work.